This is the agenda of today in two parts. First, dedicated to presentation of the project, and second, dedicated of the next action of the project and your interest in the project. I think we can start now with the first talk of the part one. Is the introduction to the project by OASC. I welcome Carl Philippe and Sophie.
Thank you. Can you all see my screen? Can you hear me? I hope yes. Thank you. I'm afraid today we will have to you will be left with me. Carl Philippe couldn't make today's meeting, but that is not to say that he is not welcoming you all to this project. So indeed, today we would like to talk, just introduce you to this new project called Local Digital Twins for Smart and Sustainable Communities. For those of you who have already been following the European Data Spaces for Smart Communities, LDT4SSC, you will see that there is an obvious link between the two projects, but we will touch upon this later, because now we would like to focus on what is it that we are doing in this project with our team members. Some general information for you. This is a Digital Europe program. This means that actually this call was opened around a year ago, and of course, accordingly, the financials are similar. The secretariat, so the project itself, is fully funded with 3 million, but 17 million is also in our hands to then actually co-finance real-life local digital twins, hopefully deployed by stakeholders such as yourselves today. In total, we are going to have 42 months to complete this project, and we actually kicked off in June, and we are going to finish the work in 2028, end of December. Our main objective is to actually look around what already exists and try to use and leverage all that in a manner that we can actually move towards a local digital twin-based ecosystem, and so that we can actually support more services across Europe in the public sector. Specifically, how are we going to achieve that? Is firstly, we are here to look at existing data platforms and local digital twins and connect them. Then we are also here to look at developing new open source pilots of LDT services. And then certainly we are also here to build a very concrete link with the European Local Digital Twin Toolbox, where we are going to contribute to that by providing additional AI-based services. Of course, OASC is not doing this alone. We have a group of very, very relevant experts with different expertise, such as LIST, Enel, Technopolis, the Ghent University, Cerema, Kereval, Taltech, Fireware Foundation, and Libellium. I think some of these names I'm sure you are familiar with others maybe rather less. But rest assured, we have network organizations here. We have technical expertise. We have non-technical expertise. We have social scientific expertise here. So the idea is that this will be an all-round project. To look towards what is actually going to be an output, the results that we are looking for in these 42 months. So firstly, I'm sure you all know that we have different kinds of blueprints flying around in this ecosystem, such as the DS4SSC, DSSC, and so on and so forth. So we are going to attempt to synthesize those into a common interoperability blueprint. Then we are also looking to create this LDT ecosystem by connecting LDTs. Then we are hoping that with these activities, we are actually going to contribute to an uptake in the number of local platforms and digital twins. And this is actually supported by different activities such as community engagement, capacity building. We have very strong links with the relevant European projects, and we are looking at the notions of replicability and scalability by design. And thirdly, of course, the contribution to the European LDT toolbox. And fourthly, just in general, to increase and mature the AI services offering in the public domain. But specifically, we are looking at predictive and modeling services and immersive solutions. And this is, of course, because if you are part of this community, you know that there is a lot of buzz going around the Cityverse. So this is a project that is very much paving the way to this next step. In these 42 months, we like to say that we have 3 phases. In the first phase, which is the very first part, of course, of the project, is what we call the foundation. In this short period, we are looking at raising awareness about our existence and engaging with the community to understand what's out there, what are the needs, and to try to be as accurate in our deliveries in the future as possible. And we are actually scoping our outputs and we are looking to prepare for the pilots. This is the next phase. And in the second phase, we are there to actually execute the pilots. So it means that we have to, and we would like to also support the real-life pilots of local digital twin deployment or their connection. This we do by providing training and by also continuing to liaise with a community of stakeholders such as yourselves to ensure that we are up to date and relevant. In the final phase, we are looking at, basically providing you with tangible results and to ensure that those tangible results are going to have an uptake and a sustainability plan behind them to make sure that they will live long beyond the end of this project. So we are going to provide you with this interoperability blueprint. We are also going to have this repository of assets and services, again, tied to the LDT toolbox, and we are going to publish comprehensive training and capacity building materials. When we talk about the pilots, and this will be touched upon in detail later, so hold your breath for that, but a little bit of a teaser at this point, we have 3 areas of pilots. So this is for those of you who were involved in the LDT4SSC journey. There we had a call for just one general call for pilots. In this project, we are looking for 3 different types of pilots. So we have, and we call them work strands. So we have work strand 1, 2, and 3. The first one is where we are going to have 6 to 8 pilots. And there we are looking at existing LDTs data platforms being connected. The second one, where we are also going to be selecting 6 to 8 pilots, is where we are looking at the creation of LDTs based on common needs. And the third one is where we are looking at adding new advanced AI-based tools to the LDT toolbox. Here, we are only going to have 3 to 4 pilots. The timing of these calls are going to be also different. But as said, this will be explained in detail and clarified later today. Rest assured, I'm sure there are a lot of questions. But mind you, the third one is also the part where we talk about the Cityverse that I hinted on before. All right, and then I would like to ask you to prepare your phones, prepare your screens, because we are going to dive in and join us on Menti. Because this is a little bit of teaser. The purpose right now is that first that you join Menti. The second is that this is a community of like-minded people. So beyond, say hi in the chat, tell us where you are from, why you are here. We would like to also just make it a bit more formal. to see who is in the room and to just, provide you with the opportunity to get to know each other.
Sophie,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm going to take over on the presentation.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to.
Thank you. So this one, yes.
Okay, so where are you based? We have, I think, a Ljubljana. Yes, Copenhagen, Croatia, France, Slovenia, Belgium, Asia, nice. Netherlands, Thessaloniki, Ula, UK, Paris, very big. Okay, Spain, Barcelona specifically, also from there. How many responses do we have now?
46, 47?
747, and we have 79 participants, so maybe we wait one more second, and then also Maribor, different, Italy, okay, Berlin, nice. Okay, I think we can go to the next question, which is, what type of organization do you represent? Are you from the public sector, private sector, research and academia, civil society, NGO? Okay, liking what I see, a lot of public sector. Cyprus, we also have a Cyprus. Nice. In the meantime, I see the question from Stefan, the relationship with the EDIC. The EDIC is an ongoing initiative, and of course, there is a link between the two, which is not formalized though. But when we talk about the sustainability of the project, there is a link, especially because the EDIC is expected to host the LDT toolbox. And since we are expected to contribute to the toolbox, while nothing is on paper and formalized in this very moment, the expectation is that this will be facilitated and we will work together in the EDIC for this, with the EDIC for this. Okay, so public sector is leading, yay. And then we have private sector, strong second, research academia, and we have one little NGO. Welcome, NGO. Next. What type of use cases are you interested in? So this is again going to be a word cloud, energy, mobility, heat island, air quality, traffic management, all of them. I love it, all of them. Okay, cross-sectorial, all mobility. Okay. Urban planning, we have quite a lot of mobility, urban planning. I also see a lot of all of them. Energy, reuse of deconstruction materials. That's a very specific one. And I find it personally very interesting. Preserving heritage sites. Okay. Risk assessment. Disaster management. Integration among sectors. So collaboration, that's great. Sustainability. Wonderful. Bottom-up planning. close to my heart. Citizens' insights, close to bottom-up planning. Cross-domains, use cases, interoperability. Woo! Whoever said that, your close friend of OASC. I love the caps locks. Interoperability, digital identity dashboard. Like I feel that. Okay. So let's leave this open, but I think we can move to my colleague now.
Yes, so welcome Sile for the strategy and sustainability.
Sorry,
We
took
can
some
see your
time to unmute and right away putting also on the slideshow. Loading. Yes, there we are. Good morning. Okay, what happened? Do you see the?
We can see the screen. We can see you. We can see the screen.
Okay, good. Anyway, good morning also from my side. My name is Sila Sepp. I serve as the head of urban data ecosystems at the Finna Center for Smart Cities and Taltech, and as one of the partners here in the project, taking care of the non-technical aspects as well as the strategy and sustainability, strategy itself for this ecosystem. I'm eager to also present some of our plans with you, as well as then already hear some of your feedback for that. In the next few minutes, I'd like to complement Sophie's or a presentation already a bit by taking a bird's eye view. Why are we actually even talking about local digital twins, especially also from a kind of ecosystem or a perspective, and also the services that it could actually enable. Sophie also mentioned that this is obviously part of a bigger kind of movement of different types of projects and initiatives. It's not a standalone project that tries to fix it all as such, but and this is important because also none of the initiatives could take that ambition itself. It needs to be complementary. It needs to be also integrated with other initiatives and find those ways how to converge, how to really support each other so that we can actually empower communities all over Europe with this kind of transformation of their digital infrastructures, and also then help to actually tackle the very pressing challenges that we obviously feel already in this world. So in this context, I think in the bigger scale, the mission is clear. We want to make sure that we're moving towards a very robust, scalable and interoperable ecosystem of those local digital twins. But not only, this is of course very much an aspect of actually strengthening the local and regional communities with the capabilities of digital twin technologies to then take those and actually advance some of those address some of those needs that communities actually have. This is also a matter of finding ways how to use the advanced technologies such as AI to then move forward with the services that communities want to develop. But what is very more important, I think, here to mention is that it's not possible to do it from a top-down perspective by just kind of placing different types of technologies and different type of technical capabilities into the communities, hoping for a quick adoption, and then just that the benefits would right away start to realize itself. Instead, I think it's very important that we actually continue to identify those real needs the communities have. start iterating based on that, and not only using the needs and kind of matching these with the aspects that the digital twin technologies could really help mitigate, but it's also a matter of identifying very concrete innovation capabilities within the communities, strengthening those by also building bridges to other types of initiatives that are already working in this field, and then also sustaining this over the course of, beyond this initiative of the LDT4SSC. So it's very much in our focus to already start tackling the question about sustainability from the start, to then be able to also move towards this ecosystem approach in the future. What I also want to mention is that in this work, we are guided by some of our values. I propose these as a conversation starter, because I think this is something that we need to also continue to elaborate together with you, the stakeholders here, who are actually developing local digital twins in your communities. But in general, there are 4 guiding principles or directions that drive us. Firstly, it's a matter that sustainability can really be addressed only through a kind of innovative and open approach. And that means that we start by right away using open standards, data sharing, collaborative let's say efforts, and trying to build cooperation between a different type of stakeholders rather than trying to do it in siloed ways. That means also that it's a very kind of key driver for us is being inclusive and participatory, to make sure that we co-create those aspects for that what are actually needed for the future development of local digital twin, and what is even possible to do on top of that, especially when connecting and integrating those. That means also that, as I already mentioned, sustainability is not only a matter of the services that it tries to sustainability is not only achieved by the services that are created, but also in a way how the ecosystem itself is built up in a cohesive and kind of convergent way, in a way to also continue strengthening the competitiveness of the European economy, and also the communities on a local scale. And last but not least, of course, the aspect of ensuring that those services, those technologies that we do continue leveraging are based on trustworthy practices that respect also common goals as privacy protection, security, compliance with different type of regulations, and so forth. Right away, as a call to action for you, if you find here something that would be needed to iterate, please let us know. And also try to also think, also what we continue to do so is that on a high level, these, at least for us, it makes sense, but it's also an aspect of what does it actually mean in practice, because it's a way how to, we need to also understand what kind of potential frictions there might be at times and how to overcome those. What is also important that throughout these kind of value-based iterations, it's so that those type of developments around implementing and developing local digital twins is only possible when it actually creates value. The technology itself is interesting and innovative, but it doesn't really bring a lot of value just by existing. It needs to actually address the real needs of the various stakeholders already here throughout the different sectors and domains, but also bring tangible benefits to each of them individually. So the kind of next step, what we are looking at is very concrete, unique value propositions per the different stakeholders. And I've brought out here a couple of them just to start the conversation. For local and regional authorities, local digital twins can provide a very powerful decision-making or a support tool for decision-making, helping to use different types of simulations to kind of test out some of the innovations and developments before actually making those real-life and rather costly changes in the urban setting. When local digital twins are also made available for the citizens as well as later on civil society organizations, it can also promote participatory governance, transparency, and also actually co-creation together with the citizens. For civil society organizations and NGOs, it also can support making advocacy much more evidence-based and also data-driven. But on the other hand, it's not only a nice to have for the community, it can bring also very interesting benefits for private sector entities, especially the technology providers, allowing to demonstrate their offering within a real setting and also create the market, also test a different type of collaborative governance and business models. For SMEs and industry, there are various types of benefits based on the, let's say, domain or the service that is being offered. But oftentimes it's related to operational efficiency, innovation, and so forth. And then finally, of course, with research organizations and academia, it provides an opportunity to experiment, to test hypotheses, to innovate, to also actually help with knowledge integration into policymaking and urban planning. Again, I think in a bird's eye view, this sounds great, but it also means that this needs to move into way more concrete terms, to have teeth, and also understand that what are those critical capabilities and factors that we actually need to have in place for those ecosystems and for those initiatives that you're developing to actually realize those into tangible ones. Otherwise, it can stay on a, let's say, not hypothetical, but at least a too high level to really be convincing. So what we're aiming to do in the next steps is very much to work together with you in the extended stakeholder group, but also with the people and organizations involved in the future pilots, to then not only test the existing services, but also understand how value is created, and not only created, but also captured back into those organizations to be able to, again, as already mentioned in the beginning, design a sustainable ecosystems in the long run. I'll start to close here, just to mention with some next steps. What we're already doing is elaborating also an impact assessment framework for the initiative as well as for the pilots, to understand how are we actually going to measure all of that impact that we want to create across the different areas. Also to elaborate a more concrete strategy, how to align between the other relevant initiatives, would it be Simple, EDIC, LDT4SSC, or others, to make sure that there's also organizational aspects that have been considered and that go beyond intention. That is also, what we're doing is elaborating a strategy for promoting local digital twins and its services. Again, also understanding that inclusiveness means that we don't leave less advanced communities behind, but actually integrate them by design. And finally, also to start thinking already about how the sustainment of this ecosystem also, what does it mean beyond the project lifetime. And your, again, I cannot emphasize this enough, your contribution here is really important. So I leave it at that. I look forward to engaging with you in the coming months and even years throughout this initiative. And I'll give the word next to our colleagues from LIST.
Thank you very much, Sile. I remind everybody that you can put your question in the chat. They will be answered on the floor during the Q&A session. Now I welcome Sotiris from LIS to present the Knowledge Hub.
So, hello everyone. Just confirm that you can see our screen.
We can see it, and also the little notice that you are sharing your entire screen. So maybe you can move that a little bit up or to the corner so that it doesn't cover anything.
Yeah. This one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you very much. So the next part and the final part of this first section of today's webinar will be about the Knowledge Hub. Knowledge Hub is one of the first tangible assets of the LDT4SSC project. And we think it's going to be a very useful tool for all of us that are here today with us during the journey of following LDT4SSC project, and also the ones that are interested in apply for any open call. So let's start with what is a Knowledge Hub. So the Knowledge Hub is a central reference point for resources, tools, and best practices on LTDs. The main role of the Knowledge Hub is that it's directed to potential pilot applicants and stakeholders that are engaged in the ecosystem of local digital twins. And it provides a curated and easy-to-navigate digestible content for all the pilot applicants and the stakeholders interested in our project. Finally, the Knowledge Hub serves as a central meeting point for our LD community, and we continue to involve all along the side of the project. So what is the main reason and how you can benefit from using this platform, this tool? So first of all, you will be able to understand the basic project's strategy and values and get clarity on the vision, priorities, and long-term goals that we have as a community. On top of that, it will give you the chance to easily navigate within the LTD ecosystem and find relevant initiatives, actors, and resources. You can also have direct access and updates on opportunities that you can have throughout our community and be able to discover open calls, support materials, and ways on how you can get involved with us. And finally, it will also ensure replicability and transparency. Since the Knowledge Hub will follow also the pilot progress, it will publish the lessons learned and also pathways for scaling. So the Knowledge Hub has the following structure. First of all, we have a landing page that the user can have this basic information about the project, and it's the entry point of the Knowledge Hub, providing the overview, the scope, and the structure. Another important section of the Knowledge Hub is the strategy and sustainability, and pretty much it incorporates all the information presented before by Sigle. So there we define our general approach, our mission, our values, and sustainability vectors, so the pilot applicants will better understand our direction as a community. The other section is the community ecosystem, which offers an exhaustive catalog of initiatives and resources that LD4SSC builds upon them. So it gives the opportunity to the pilot applicants and the stakeholders to get known the rest of the community, that they are directly related with us. And then we have also the pilot guidance, which provides required and specific technical and non-technical resources. And then the pilot journey, which monitors the progress of the granted pilots, catalogs their basic assets that were created, and by this way, we support replication and transparency. The next slide, we will try to delve into more details about the Smart Communities Ecosystem page, which we think is a very important page for all of the pilot applicants. So actually, in this page of the Knowledge Hub, is served as a gateway that connects our project, the LD4SSC, with a broader European Smart Communities Ecosystem, providing resources, links, and references to relevant initiatives that are within our ecosystem. Why this is important? So by doing so, we ensure that the LD4SSC is aligned with a major EU initiatives. And we also provide the direct help to the pilots and the stakeholders to leverage on existing frameworks, tools, and standards. In order to help you to navigate easier in this ecosystem, we have decided to group all the relevant initiatives in 6 thematic clusters. divided into data spaces, AI for smart cities, local digital twins, cityverse, interoperability and means, and city network supporting actions. And by doing so, the pilot applicants would be able to navigate through these different thematic categories and explore the relevant initiatives in a much easier and quick way. Now the initiatives that they are placed within all these 6 thematic categories have been structured following this template. So first of all, we provide like a short description of the project and the initiative. Then we provide the basic role in the LDT ecosystem, just to understand what is the correlation within the whole ecosystem, the relevance to our project, and finally, we provide some key assets and resources of this initiative so the pilots can have direct access to all this information. And finally, we also provide their web page and main contact point information if they would like to contact this initiative directly. So the whole point of this page is actually to provide the pilots and stakeholders all this information in order to be able to understand the ecosystem and have this first level of interaction with the initiatives that are directly related with us. And the other, I think, very important section of the Knowledge Hub is the pilot guidance. In this page, you can find like the overview of the piloting process, like provides a clear introduction on how the piloting is organized, all the information that we will present it afterwards, include also the information about the 3 work strands. And we also, in this page, we provide the requirements for all different work strands and the resources, both non-technical and technical, that will directly help the pilots to build their proposals and also implement their project successfully. On top of that, in this page, we will also incorporate a testing tool, like a demo environment with some dummy use cases that will allow the pilots to understand how an LDT works and better conceptualize and understand the functioning of the local digital twins. So this page will be very, very useful for the pilot applicants to strictly follow it all along the journey of the LDT4SSC and the development of their proposals and projects. So now about the next steps and the vision of this platform and tool. So the Knowledge Hub will remain like a living platform all along the duration of the project, but also after the life cycle of the project. Each of the sections will be continuously updated to align with the new initiatives that may come and provide some fresh information on resources and codes. And finally, it will serve like a practical tool for pilot, as well as we tell before, all along the different phases, from the raising awareness about the goals and opportunities, to help the pilot applicants with a proposal by providing information and resources, to the implementation phase, like by providing technical and non-technical resources, and also in the replication by monitoring the success stories of all the pilots, and also try to adopt more pilots or try to make other stakeholders to adopt the solutions that were developed as part of all these open core projects. So the first MVP of the Knowledge Hub is already up and can be found following this link. We will share the slides afterwards so you can go there and experiment and see the first MVP of the Knowledge Hub. However, very soon, the Knowledge Hub will be also linked and migrated within the existing and official website of the LDT4SSC. So everybody will be able to interact, visit, and use this tool all along the process. So we welcome you to hop along with us and visit the Knowledge Hub and use it as a very useful resource for developing your application. Concluding this first part of today's webinar, we have allocated some time for a small Q&A session. So please free, if you haven't already, do so to put your questions in the chat regarding the information presented so far, so we can have some first replies on these questions. And in the second part, we will follow with more information about the open calls, about the opportunities, and the resources that you can use to build your proposals. Thank you very much. We're waiting for your questions, and then we will proceed to the part B of today's webinar.
can have a look at the question.
You can stop sharing your screen list. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. So there was one question about the recording and the presentation. The presentation will be available. We will contact you.
So if we don't have any questions yet,
We do have one. Is UK eligible to join the ecosystems? From the Q&A part. And we also have a hello. Hello. Okay, so for the UK, generally this is a Digital Euro program. I would recommend that you contact your national access point who can advise you if you are, to what extent you can actually participate in this. Following though, when we will publish the calls, there will be a clear explanation on eligibility, but I would also invite my colleague Morten to comment if there is something that is not complete.
No, I think you covered it, Sophie. I mean, everything will be detailed also in the manual, and there is some text that is also being framed exactly on this point. So maybe just a flag that further details is being provided on this. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, then we already have questions about the eligibility requirements. So requirements, as for now, we don't have them defined. The calls are not open. So this is a preliminary webinar just to really raise awareness that this is coming. But we are now diving into what we already know and what you can expect. And then we have one more question from the chat from Alberto. Is it also open to universities, partner of municipalities? Morten, do you want to take this?
Yeah, I think we can confirm on this that Alberto, this is open indeed to these kind of stakeholders as well. We will also, I mean, today, as Sophie mentioned, it's a bit of a first introduction. So we are currently framing all the formal settings around this. So there will be also in the manual that we are now working on for the open calls, we will detail exactly the stakeholders that indeed are eligible to also apply here. But yes, confirmation so far. Yeah.
I think we have another one.
Two
Should consortia demonstrate LDT4SSC participation? I think, Sophie, you can take this one.
Yeah, well, as said, nothing is set in stone for now, but we don't expect this. I mean, of course, it's very useful if you know. I'm guessing that there will be required familiarity with the resources provided from the DS4SSC, but no clear demonstration is expected at this point, but we will see.
Super. Thank you, Sophie, for addressing this one. So I think we can move on in the part B of today's webinars. We're going to have a second Q&A session round after the part B. We're expecting much more questions coming there because we're going to cover more about the open calls and the opportunities of the project. So we call Morten to continue with presenting the open calls.
Yes. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Is it showing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, very good. So also a warm welcome from our side. So on behalf of our team, I'm here also with Laura and Elisa, and we will provide a presentation here on the open calls in terms of the the approach, the processes, the framework that we have in mind. I think what's really important, and probably you also got it a bit so far from the preceding presentations, also from Sophie, that indeed it's very much work in progress. So we are working hard with the entire consortium now on closing up on, let's say, the guidelines around the applications. So what you're seeing today is a bit of a preliminary snapshot. Okay, so everything here will be written into the manuals that will elaborate in detail and also cover the questions that we had so far. But what we want to do is indeed to explain a little bit to you on what is coming in this sense. What are kind of like the expectations, the scope, the kind of support that is available. So with that in mind, we will have a total of 3 work strands, right, that have been presented earlier that are being supported. We have different rounds of open calls that will be launched over the duration of the project. And the idea is overall to support around 15 to 20 pilots as a total across all the work strands. The broader goal, I mean, I think it was clearly elaborated earlier, but overall, right, the idea here is really to help build this network ecosystem, supporting interconnected local digital twins, but also really addressing concrete urban needs, challenges, and then also helping to facilitate improved AI services and the like. What we will cover today will really be now the process, to give some preliminary dates on the time frame for this. We will also go a bit into the evaluation process and criteria that we have in mind. We will also elaborate on the financial sides, like what are kind of eligible costs, what are not eligible, what are the co-funding requirements we're looking at. And then last but not least, of course, we are also really eager to support interested applicants. So we will also elaborate a bit on what kind of support that you can expect from our project team in this process. With that said, I would like to give the floor to my colleague Laura Galante, who will go into the time frame. So Laura, over to you.
Thank you, Morten. So hi, everyone. My name is Laura, and I work together with Morten and Lisa here as well, together with Technopolis Group. And I will highlight a little bit on the open call opportunity process and what is now the indicative timeline for each of the open calls. So just to give you a quick overview, the general, let's say, time frame for each pilot is that it has a duration of 18 months. And from the indicative opening of the open call to the closing, we would expect around 3 months there to apply before the deadline closes. After which we will have a 2-month review time to select the pilots. And then again, let's say 2-month time between this and the beginning of the pilots for, let's say, negotiations and so on, and to establish, let's say, all the criteria for administration and so on. So indeed, the 3 work strands are then divided into these 3 different phases. And when in our call of manuals, we will explain a lot more in detail as well what this process will entail. So yeah, please, if you can go to the next slide. So essentially what is required for the application package and the evaluation as part of the evaluation process. The idea is for, the applicants are going to be asked for the following documentation to be considered, which of course will entail an application form, a financial form, letters of commitment from the cities and co-funding partners, and an ethics and data protection self-assessment. So essentially through the call manual, we will also elaborate on the full process and the requirements for each open call, as well as provide the relevant templates for this. When it comes to the steps for the evaluation process, during the opening of the calls, a help desk support will be offered to answer any questions through a dedicated mailbox that we will be setting up. And a matchmaking platform will also be available to support consortium building. And of course, that will lead then to the submission deadline to take place then afterwards. After which we will do a pre-screening of application through first an eligibility check, and then an evaluation by evaluation committee and an ethics board. After which we will have a ranking, the pilot selection, and the communication to all the applicants throughout this time. So once again, this will be done within 2 months of the closing of the deadline. Yes, please, next slide. So essentially, just to give a bit of an overview of the call principles and the evaluation grid, again, these are, let's say, all details that we will highlight as well in the manual. So the calls are going to be published and open, conform to EU standards, which concern, of course, transparency, equal treatment, conflict of interest, and confidentiality. And of course, the requirements will concern also the legal, financial, and technical aspects of each of the 3 different work strands. And again, the 3 main criteria will be further elaborated on in this manual, but just to give you an overview, the criteria will, of course, cover aspects on excellence, impact, and quality and efficiency of the implementation, which also may link, the evaluation grade may link to past experiences also on the data space project. So I would like now to hand over to my colleague Elisa to give a little bit of an overview of the financial framework that entails these calls. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Laura. Yeah, so as said already by my colleagues, more details will be provided in the call for pilot manuals where that we are preparing. So this is a bit just to give you an overview of the key aspects of the financial framework. Is going to be a co-funding model. Therefore, the project will cover up to 50% of the eligible cost, while the applicants are expected to provide at least 50% of the co-financing. The maximum grant that can be awarded to a consortium is 1 million, and per third party instead is 500,000. In terms of eligible and ineligible costs, we recommend having a look also at the annotated grant agreement. You can find the link in the slide, because there are all the details that will also then be put in the manual, but that refers to the eligibility criteria of costs. Overall, we can say that the eligible cost category are indeed personnel costs, so the costs related to the personnel in working on the pilot's activities, and that will require also documentation to prove and to evidence of the time incurred, time spent on the project. Subcontracting costs, which needs to be already included in the estimated budget at the proposal time, and which can only be limited to specific activities. And then other type of purchases costs, so for instance, travel, equipment, and other goods and services. And within this last category, you will be able also to claim the certificate on financial statement costs. This is like a certificate that every participating organization will have to provide at the end of the project. And it will be provided by after an audit conducted by an independent auditor. But yes, as said, this cost is eligible. And then indirect cost, of course, and they are at a flat rate of 7% of the eligible direct cost. In terms of non-eligible costs, as said before, please have a look at the annotated grant agreement, but we can mention some examples. So for instance, costs which are incurred outside the duration of the pilot activities, or excessive expenses, or expenses which are not justified, or like VAT, which is already deductible. And then maybe we can go to the final slide, which refers to the just a summary of key information and also details on what is coming next. So the project website is already up and running, and you can have a look. You will find some information related to the call for pilots or updates on the project activities and resources. The call for pilots manual will be published on the website. It will be available for download once ready. And it will be the main reference document for the applicants, because indeed it will include all the step-by-steps instruction and information about requirements and financial framework. There will be a fact section on the website with indeed frequently asked questions and the related answers. The Knowledge Hub, as already said, is already up and running, and you will be able to access it also with the link in the slide. There will also be, we envisage to have an help desk for applicants to be able to ask for support on several aspects. And as mentioned by my colleague also Laura, there will be a matchmaking platform which will be launched during the call. We would like also to close mentioning and highlighting that we will also select external experts for as evaluators for the call application. Therefore, we kindly invite you, in case you're interested, to keep checking regularly the website, because when we will open the selection there through an expression of interest. So yeah, we kindly invite everyone to keep an eye on the website. And we are finished, so I give the floor back to List. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for this nice presentation. We will ask Serema now for the pilot definition and resource of the pilot applicant. So I welcome Laura on.
Yes. Hello, everyone. The fire alarm just launched here in our building. Can you hear the alarm?
We hear you well.
Okay.
We can't hear the alarm, so it's okay.
Yeah, we are going to have to leave the building because there's a fire.
Or maybe we can stay for about 15 minutes.
Je sais pas si c'est un exercice ou pas.
Okay, let's just start and
let's see. We are very sorry about this. It went off 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Okay, if needed, I can take over and then you guys can go.
We'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay, let me share my slides. Okay, so I'm here today with Marine we're both from Cerema, and we will present the section that is dedicated to showcase the work that is undergo to present like pilot definition, the main orientations for pilot, and the resources that will be given. So as it has been mentioned previously, our project focuses on building a European ecosystem of local digital twins, and this is done through 3 work strands. The first one aims at interconnecting existing local digital twins to demonstrate interoperability and enable like cross-domain and cross-border data sharing. The second work strand supports creating new local digital twins based on common needs. That can be mobility, climate mitigation, resource management, or other areas. And the third and last work stream pushes innovation by integrating advanced AI-based tools to LDTs. Marine will further explain these work streams in our presentation. So regarding who should apply to these work streams and through the different open calls, it is open to a wide range of stakeholders that include cities, municipalities and regions, provincial authorities and syndicates or communities like energy communities. And we also welcome technology providers, AI innovators, and people from the private and public sectors. So this is what is being worked on, but what we believe will be the minimum composition. This will have to be confirmed is 2 public entities with at least another out of the following examples. So private entities, associations, a trusted third party or a representative or a use case sector. And importantly, it will have to be confirmed also, but it has to be around 2 common use cases to ensure like meaningful collaboration between all parties in the pilot consortiums. And I'll give the floor to Marine.
Yes, hi. Hi, everyone. Sorry for the misunderstandings. I hope you can hear me well. I will present now to you a bit in more details the work strands that we have for this project. So the first one has been mentioned several times before in this call today, is the technical interconnection of existing LDTs, so local digital twins. So firstly, we would be looking for public authorities that already have a data platform or data space, and that is a very important point that we need to state, and that would be willing to share their data models, services, etc. with someone else. So they would be willing to share with data platforms, data spaces, stuff like that. In terms of who are we looking for in addition, that would be municipalities and regions that would want to create a data space and that would want to develop a marketplace of services in addition to it. So to illustrate those kind of super technical ideas, we have prepared some what we call success stories. So let me tell you a bit of a story. Let's imagine that you are already either a DS4SSC pilot, so data space for sustainable cities and communities projects, you're a pilot out of them. So if you don't know what it means that you're part of a group of cities and you want to interconnect with another platform. So you have your own platform already, you want to interconnect to another group of other cities who already have a platform as well. And you aim at creating a marketplace of services for example, syndicates of waste, of energy, of water to reply to their use cases as well. So your own use case would be about network management. It would be about how to interconnect those 2 platforms. And about the text that you might use, it could be the simple building blocks, for instance, because we are a European initiative. We're receiving money from the EU, and as such, we need to interconnect everything that comes within the EU ecosystem as well. And this is all the goal of what we're working on today. We could also be using fireware building blocks, for instance. The challenge that you might face with this work strand and with this overall challenge would be the maturity of the connector. Maybe it's difficult to find the connector, the correct connector that connects your 2 platforms. And at the end, you might have assets and services that you could contribute to, for example, contributing to simple building blocks. So that would be the first use case, the first work strand, I'm sorry. And we will have, as mentioned before, 1 open call. When we talk now about the second work strand, we will have 2 open calls, and I will continue on telling you a story with this one. So let me tell you, if this story is about 2 cross-border communities that would be a part of the consortium. But in addition to them, there would be a technical partner as I don't know, for example, a consulting company. There would be also an expert in climate change adaptation, and you would have all of these local authorities would have the same challenges. They would have to face those. So, for example, air pollution, traffic jams, or whatever. And they would want to assess the impact of the public policies on CO2 emissions in their territories. So their use case would be about measuring those CO2 emissions across those 2 borders, across those different territories, in order to, for instance, identify the sources of air pollution data, or in order to create a common digital twin for CO2 emissions. So the context of the second work stream is really to create different use cases, as we mentioned before, ideally 2 at least, but this is still under review. So they would have to focus on centering across borders and across their different use cases to find the common ones that they would want to work on together to create their LDT together. In terms of tech, they would deploy something like a platform using a context broker, for instance, and there would be essential components as well, like ETLs, identity management, visualization tools. All of this is still under review, but this is the idea of what you might need. And this is the image as well that you can see about the different elements that can compose an LDT. And then you would have as a challenge, the biggest one that we see maybe would be about predicting an LDT that would be replicable in other countries as well, because this goal is also about, and the global LDT4SSC project is about interoperability and replicability as well. So the goal would be that you'd be able to replicate your solutions. And when it comes to the outcomes, well, you might at the end have a calculation methodology that you would want to share, a common smart data model that you would want to share, knowledge on CO2 emissions, and in turn, how to better coordinate management, mobility decongestion projects, how to better initiate policies, how to better reduce energy consumption. So all of those would be ideas about what exists. And if we talk about the next work strand now, and the last one, as we mentioned before, there would be 2 open calls as well. We would be looking for municipalities that already have their LDT, they already have something that's working, but they would want to enhance it better using, for instance, AI. And as such, if we go back to the success story, well, it could be about a consortium of one city, a consulting firm specializing, for instance, in school planning. I mean, why not? And an AI expert. And in that context, maybe let's imagine that that the city and their use case would be that they would want to face the demographic decline that they've been seeing in their city, and in order to better plan their land strategy. So they would want to manage the school's enrollments. The goal would be in that case to simulate the number of children who will be enrolled in the following years, and to simulate the different construction programs that will be implemented in the city. And this is why they would use AI as well within their own LDT. So that would be the technical aspect of it. The challenge, however, might be that this LDT and the calculation models used for AI, for example, in Python, might not be replicable in other cities, but this is something that we would want to have. So that might be the challenge, for instance. And when it comes to the outcomes, well, at the end, hopefully, you would have a replicable LDT with a smart data model, documented AI calculation models, and maybe an optimization for the school management that would be replicable across countries. So I hope that these different scenarios are helping you kind of understanding better what we might expect of you. And thank you.
And so the work that we've been doing is preparing pilot orientation and resources to help guide pilots in the implementation and success of their projects, and also align with the LDT4SSC objectives. And these cover mainly these areas such as technical, non-technical, legal and governance, and general. And of course, this guidance will leverage existing initiatives and resources within the European ecosystem, as presented before by List with the Knowledge Hub, to help facilitate the deployment of the solutions and of the pilots. So the technical orientations will focus on enabling interoperability, help assess like digital maturity, and give methodological keys to ensure rigor. On the legal and governance, it's to ensure replicability, sustainability, and a good data governance framework. And for the general theme, orientation will help alignment with the priority use cases, socioeconomic and environmental impact measurement, stakeholder engagement through the quadruple helix model, and contribution to the overall LDT ecosystem. And the aim here is to really support pilots in delivering interoperable, replicable, scalable, sustainable, and impactful local digital twins solutions. To give more concrete examples, these orientations could be for interoperability to use MIMS plus, so minimal interoperability mechanisms from the Living in the EU initiatives, for the use cases basing on the European Green Deal areas, and for connecting platforms using Simple, as Marine gave in her examples. So, and you will find all the information about this in the documents that will be shared and in the Knowledge Hub. So thank you for listening to us. I'll give the hand back to List.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I think this part B of today's webinar gave some important content, both on the open call opportunities, but also we hope that you help you frame already your ideation, and all the scenarios presented by Serema. I think they gave a nice landscape on what is going to come up within the upcoming work strands, that the requirements will be defined and shared with you over the next weeks. So we would like to call you on a final interactive session in order also to understand where you lie in these different work strands and what's your plan within an engagement with our project. So I will also invite Sophie to run this small interactive session together, and then we can close the webinar by replying to your questions with the final Q&A session.
Thank you, Sotirios. So again, we go on Menti before we go to the final Q&A session where all your questions will be answered. I'm saying that those answers will be completely fulfilling, but at least we'll answer it. So please join us on Menti, take the phone out, or join online with the code 4888-9909. Michelle, could you just give me a heads up if people have been joining?
Yeah, we are around 30.
Come on, people. Do this quickly?
Yeah, we are around.
Perfect. Then let's launch the first question already.
And I will share my screen.
Thank you. Let's see. So let's see which work strand are we interested in. Wow, there is a huge difference between the technical interconnection of existing areas and the second one, where you would actually like to do new LDTs based on common needs. It's a very interesting input, very interesting for us to learn about this. Good. Already something to start off with. 20 even, double, exactly the double. All right, maybe these communities or entities can talk to each other. Let's see, I think 34. Maybe we can already move to the next question just to leave enough time for the Q&A. So this is an open question. Again, this is also to help us with all the resources and documentations that we are preparing, especially that we are now in the process of preparing the open call. So mind you can also think about that. But in general, remember, our overall goals are to help the deployment of LDTs across these 3 work strands. But the help means that we are actually giving tangible support, not only financial, but also providing resources, capacity building, training. When you think about training, is it more non-technical? Is it technical? What is it that you are looking at? Okay. Good. Are we looking at impact assessment maybe? How do you navigate a multi-stakeholder community? Yes. Template. That's good. You will get that. Help the deployment pilots by providing technical test bed. Okay. Capacity building. Okay. I'm guessing technical. Do we have any legal issues? Do we have any contract issues? Okay, LDT toolbox. Good. Technology. Business cases.
And the use cases,
Inclusivity.
I think, Sophie, all these are nice ideas to be incorporated in the Knowledge Hub. So we should
Indeed,
definitely have a
indeed.
look at them and try to incorporate all these ideas in the Knowledge Hub.
Indeed. Citizen-based approach. Yes. Okay, so we also have use case explanations. So probably also provide in the open call demonstrative examples of what we mean by them. So Marine, I think that's a compliment towards your presentation that this is the right approach. Different projects integration, okay? Conceptual to reality. Standards, finally. I feel that. Okay, so connecting the private to the public. Yes, we are going to be in Barcelona. So we'll see you there. We're going to have more communication about LDT4SSC's presence in Barcelona, but we invite everyone for a nice drink. Supporting finding the co-funding. That's a good old question. And the wallet interoperability, great. Let's move on to the next question just because of time. That's very simple. So we talked a lot about how we are part of a bigger family, and there is a clear link to the DS4SSC stakeholder forum. There is a clear link to other initiatives such as the Living in the EU, the EDIC, the AI on Demand platform, the LDT toolbox, and so on and so forth. So this is just to know if you are already familiar or not. And if you haven't been, that's also fine because we have a surprise for you. I think we can keep this going while I just share the last screen from our side, which is that, tadam, tadam. We are actually building on the stakeholder forum environment of the DS4SSC. It's similar to the one that we are aiming to get here. It's an environment that is looking at smart city use cases, of data sharing, of services in the public sector. It's also a multi-stakeholder environment. So we have similar challenges. In this environment, we do workshops where you can provide your input. We provide opportunities to present your use cases and to call for action in terms of finding partners. But also we provide project updates. And given this close link, we don't want to waste anyone's time. We are going to try to align these two communities as much as possible. Michelle, can I see just the final response to this last question? And in the meantime, I think we can already look at the questions while Michelle shares the screen.
Yes, so sorry, I don't know what happened.
No worries. So we have the first question. Can a consortium include only local partners from a local community? Example, one city plus one local partners and experts, or do we need an international consortium? Morten?
Yeah, maybe we can take this one. So indeed, we are working out these requirements for the different work strands. The thinking is to have a requirement indeed that you have stakeholders from at least 2 countries participating. But I want to highlight we haven't yet formalized whether that applies to indeed all the work strands. Okay. So what we will do in the manual, we will provide that, let's say, orientation at the level of each work strand. But for some of them, yes, that would be intended indeed also to facilitate cross-border collaboration, etc., which also is in the spirit of these type of calls.
Okay, just a quick comment here. Like as a project, we do have the KPI of reaching 30 communities, so you can also think along these lines. So we do have some directions. Maybe it's testing the alarm. Maybe it was. Long shot. Is there already a pilot proposal template? That was a very long shot indeed. Do we have to have also foreign partners? Similar question.
Yeah, the answer would be similar. I think there, Sophia, right? I mean, indeed, for some of the work strands, that is the intention exactly that we have. Basically, that we have cities, communities from at least 2 different eligible countries. But again, we will specify whether that applies to all the different work strands. So the manual that is being finalized will be very clear on this. Yeah.
Okay.
I see another question, Sophie, if you may, on this about whether organizations can participate in more work strands than one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also here we can just say that we are still discussing that also internally, and there is also so we need to formalize it. Of course, there is the merit right in that we have as many as possible beneficiaries out of these calls as well. But on the other hand, there is also the argument, right, that organizations can indeed contribute with a lot of impact across different work strands. So let's also say here with the manual that we will formalize this. And thanks again for the question on this. Yeah.
Then we also have a question from Gretel. Infrastructure isn't an eligible cost, so the projects will need to rely on existing infrastructure. Is there anything else that needs to be considered here? I think, Martin, this is also because
we discussed it. We are discussing it internally on our side. So we prefer not to detail too much further on this. What I would recommend, again, and sorry for repeat, is that we will have the manual and we will also there detail this. And on these specific questions, you can also simply email, once we go live on the website, there will be the dedicated mailbox. And these kind of questions also, you're all very welcome to take them up with us. And we will do the best to give very precise answers to this once the call is up running. Yeah.
And then we have from Jean-Paul, which are the results expected for work strand 1, 3D city model applied to a specific use case, energy management. Also, we are talking about digital twin, but it's a digital twin focus in this open call or more a digital shadow, considering that there are not between the object, city building, and the digital representation. I don't know if Serema or List wants to take this.
Yeah, so it's going to be the same answer than previously. We're still working on that internally, but maybe to precise, if it wasn't made clear enough, it's what is expected is really the interconnection between different LDTs or data platforms through technical means that will be given. Workstrand 2. Okay, Workstrand 2 is about creating advanced use cases in from different communities, getting together and working on a common use cases. For instance, 2 cross-border cities that have to manage traffic together. And
I think it was Workstrand 1.
Jean-Paul Castro just corrected himself.
Sorry.
Yes. So it's really working together towards 2 cities.
And at the end,
At
yes,
least two, yes.
the expected result at the end would be a working local digital twin that would be interoperable. So to answer your question very basically, that would be the answer to it. But then you would have, like, in the context of the project, you would have to work with the people in your consortium pilots in order to focus around your own use case or several use cases and build this digital twin together, whether it be in a federated data space or something else.
I hope this answers the question. There'll be further information in the call documents.
So we have 1 minute left. I will give the word back to Lists.
Super.
Yeah. I think it was a very dense and interesting webinar. So thanks to all. Thanks to all for your participation, your presentation. So we hope to stay tuned with the community. So you will receive an email with all the information of today. Of course, you can reach to us anytime for additional questions. So please visit our website and you have our contact. And I hope to talk to you soon. Thanks again.
Thank you all. See you perhaps in Barcelona.